It was an expensive business being a radical leader, as both Cobbett and Hunt had reason to know. In addition to speech-making, publications, traveling, and correspondence, there were heavy expenses incurred for legal defense or during electoral contests. Cobbett, and more especially Hunt, were extravagant in their tastes, Cobbett in his farming ventures, Hunt in his general style of living. Both were careless in their financial dealings. The incoherent radical movement, with no elected executive and no accredited treasurer, was perpetually subjected to appeals from ad hoc committees to assist with funds for this or that emergency. Cobbett recouped his losses by his publishing profits, while Hunt sought to turn propaganda to his advantage by selling radical breakfast powder, a concoction based on roasted corn, which was sold as a substitute for tea or coffee, and which was recommended to radicals as a means of boycotting taxed articles. No clear line was drawn between their private business concerns and the finances of the movement. Questions as to the use of or trustship of radical funds or the confusion of public and private interests became, as they were to become for O'Connor and Ernest Jones, subjects of humiliating public recrimination. For example, after Peterloo Hunt was engaged in a long public wrangle with his fellow reformer Joseph Johnson of Manchester, in which the cost of mutual exchanges of hospitality, laundry bills, the amount of oats fed to Hunt's horse, and the tip given or not given to a chambermaid at an inn were all exposed to view. But the greatest cause of radical disagreement was sheer vanity. And vanity was so common a disorder among the radical leaders that it appears less as a cause of disagreement than as a symptom of the general lack of coherent organization. Nearly all the reform leaders were quick to impugn the motives of their fellows at the first sign of disagreement. Suspicions were fed by the disclosure of the parts played by the provocateurs. Castle Oliver,